All right. All right. Morning. This is Charles with Exodus Logistics Learning Center. This is a Zoom consultation with Mr. Norman Freeman, dispatch training. So 30-minute Zoom consultation, if it lasts that long, I guess. So what questions do you have, sir? I got my screen shared. Let's see what you got for me.
Okay. Well, one thing is, I've called. Well, let me say this first of all. All your information, man, is just off the Richter scale. I feel like I've learned a lot from being in this course and training with you because of your content. But I guess my call today was, I think before I became a member, I was the one that asked you about box trucks.
Okay.
And I do agree with you. If anybody's out there listening, box trucks it is difficult. I think it's a really difficult one to start off with. But I was willing to stretch. I'm the type of person, I like to stretch myself if I can. I was willing to stretch myself to see, how it would work out. But we end up not doing anything with box trucks anyway. But I don't know, man. I've called over 700 people. We've handed out our advertising on the trucks in the resting areas. We have two, one in right outside of Fort Lauderdale, and then I have another one right down the street from where I work. It's farmers market. So I mean, I've gotten some calls from those, but it's always a call like when people are stuck. And even when they're stuck, I've tried to work. I worked a couple of them out pretty good, but the person that they were working for didn't want to do an agreement with me. And I guess I'm at a stalemate right now because I'm cold calling, which no doesn't bother me because my background was in sales, so that's no issue for me. And I guess I just wanted to get some personal time to just see what you feel we may need to tweak. And also, my wife's question was this too: is that we were taught that based. I'm not going to say the other training, but that you should take no less than 10%. Sometimes I think the percentage are kind of throwing people back, and also, do you think that that's 10% is too much? And if a person signs on with you with multiple trucks, should it be a sliding scale with percentages as well?
Very good question. So let's answer that one first. So the range of percentages typically these days is between 5 and 10%. Okay, that can be a payment option, or you can do the flat rate. You can charge like between $250 to $500 per week that you dispatch for that truck. So if a percentage is too much for them, you can say, well, I'll dispatch for you. I'll charge you $300 a week. It's just a number I'm throwing out there, right? I'll invoice you every Friday for $300, irregardless of how many loads I found you for the week, Monday through Friday, right? So they don't hear that number, they don't hear that percentage. They'll say, okay, all I got to give you is $300 every Friday, and you find me the loads that I need, right? So you can consider that, or you can consider the percentage per load, 7%. Okay. I usually say 7% as a starting point, because 7% is a middle number between 5 and 10. It says that, hey, I'm not a beginner, but I'm not an expert either. I'm kind of in the middle, right?
Okay.
So that's what I would do. Now, as far as getting the carriers, there's several ways. So if the cold calling aspect is not quite working, why not? And the visiting a truck stop concept is quite not working. What about like utilizing social media, like Facebook trucking groups, for example? Let me share my screen. I think I'm sharing my screen, but let's go to Facebook and we can go to, like, we can put in a search bar like Black Truckers United or something, right? Black owner operators and truckers, right? You can click that group and then click to join the group. I'm already joined it, right? I'm already there. And then you can
say black truckers.
Black owner operators and truckers. That's one.
Okay.
Another one is called, and I can put the links for you in the chat so you can have, and I'll send you a copy of the chat in this recording as well. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So that's this one. Let me copy that and put that in the chat. And do you know how to save your chat on your side?
You're about to chat you and I have it now?
Yeah. Do you know how to save the chat on your side?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't.
Okay. So another one is like Black Truckers United. That's a Facebook group. Black Truckers United, or all Black Truckers United, right there. You can join that one, or you can just do one called Owner Operators, right? Owner Operators. So these are social media groups, and this is a private group. You click to join it. I'm already joined. This private group has 12,500 members. The other one had a few thousand. So what you can do is make sure you read their rules, because some of them don't want you to like promoting yourself and things like that. But you can, get in on some of those conversations and connect with them privately and say, hey, well, and if they're asking certain questions like that, dispatch related, you can connect with them privately and ask them, hey, I'm a dispatching company. Do you or someone perhaps looking for ways to find better paying freight? Are you stuck in certain areas that you're having trouble getting out of? We provide that service. We've been doing it. So something like that. Also, LinkedIn. That's a social media. That's more of a professional. So go to the LinkedIn account. If you have a professional LinkedIn account, log into the LinkedIn account, and you can join groups in the LinkedIn account. You do a search for the group, and then, owner operators, truckers, or something like that.
Okay.
You do a search for it. You have to be a part of the groups before you can submit and solicit your services. Okay.
Okay.
You got
Okay.
Owner Operators of America, Owner Operators Co-op. So you got different owner operators and drivers of North America. That's a group of 15,000 members. You click that group and you can request to join. Okay.
Okay.
14,954 members. So, so you get on those social media groups, and then you just start to monitor the type of conversations that are being had on those groups. And if there's any conversation that's being had that's related to what you're trying to accomplish, like dispatching for, then you connect personally with that particular person, right? And then you start the conversation with them. Another way is email and text campaigns. So let's go to another source. You can either do the DAT directory. Now, have you used the DAT directory in our members portal? Have you used Trucking Planet? Have you used the 123 load board to look up carriers and things like that?
Yeah, I have a DAT Power. We already had it. We had already started, but my wife did do an email that she got from one of the factoring companies, I think it was. Yeah, we did an email and texting.
Okay.
Campaign with them. Yeah.
So yeah, switch it up a little bit to kind of take away, I guess, the frustration, if you will, of not being as successful with the cold calls, and text blast, because you can send text messages. You can create yourself a text message template, and we have one in our members portal. We can tighten it up a little bit, but we have one in our members portal that you can send text alerts in a text SMS kind of a software. You just put in the template that you want to use, and then just send a text blast out to X amount of phone numbers, right?
Okay.
And they'll all get it simultaneously, because that's what the blast does. Just like whether it was an email blast or a text blast, it's a kind of a campaign that you're reaching multiple people simultaneously, right? So But the question becomes, well, where do I get the emails or the numbers from, right? Well, you can go through several resources that we have. One of which is going to our members portal, and we can look at module 2.
Yeah.
Load boards. We can access one of our load boards. Let's say 123 load board. Okay. And then we log in because you have the credentials because you are a member. And we go over here to the side area by the dashboard, the left-hand column, and we scroll down to the resources area. Okay.
Okay.
And then we hit search directory. Now you have the option of doing carriers, brokers, and shippers. Well, since you are a dispatcher, you want to get to carriers, right? So I just checked the box that says carriers. And let me enlarge the screen just a little bit. How is that?
Great.
Okay.
Better.
So you say you were in the Fort Lauderdale area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can start locally, Fort Lauderdale, right? And then obviously that's Florida. And we'll say within a 100-mile radius, and then we'll hit search. So now it's giving you results, all these results with the name of the company, the phone numbers, and this is across 5 pages. The name of the company, the phone numbers. Now, if you click into each one, you may get an email as well.
Okay.
And at least you have the phone number. Okay. So if you want to do a text blast, now you can, I'm not sure if 123 has an import feature where you can download all these results as a CSV file and then import them into your text software, your text blast software.
Okay.
But you have some options there. So there we go. We got all these phone numbers, and you can send out text blasts. You can, and in your text blast template, you want to make sure that you cover some touch points that you want to get information returned to you based on, right? Because you don't know, just by looking at all this, you don't know what equipment type they are, right?
Yeah.
And you have in your mind that you want to only dispatch for certain equipment types, right? Drive-ins, flatbeds, or reefers. So in your text template blast, you want to create something that's uniform and universal. Irregardless of who you text at, what number you text it to, you want to let them know that, introduce who you are, that you're a dispatching company, and that you provide these types of services, and you provide these services specifically for the owner operators who have their own MC and DOT and who are driving drive-ins, flatbeds, and reefers. 53-foot drive-ins. You want to be that specific. 53-foot drive-ins, 53-foot reefers or refrigerated trailers, and 48 or 53-foot flatbeds. That way you don't get nobody saying, hey, I got a box truck, or hey, I got a hot shot, or hey, I got a Sprinter van, because you were very specific. You were very specific in your text blast. So, so when you get a response, chances are the likelihood of it being a correct response in the sense that it's a carrier who meet the qualifications of your text blast. So you let them know that we're a dispatching company. This is who we are. This is what we do. We specialize in finding freight and keeping carriers running who have their own authority, DOT and MC, their own truck and trailer, and who have equipment types that are 53-foot drive-ins, 53-foot reefers or refrigerated trailers, and 48 to 53-foot flatbeds. If you are in this category and you are looking for our services, please contact us at the phone number or business email. That's all you have to say, right? Just say it like that. And then most carriers, they'll get, because they get a lot of text information in, they'll open them up and read them, because some of them may think that it's from a broker. You may catch someone who may need dispatching service. So that could be a strategy and you're not cold calling, you're putting all these numbers into a text campaign, a text system. And then the same thing with the emails. You can do an email blast. You can create an email. So your email and your text template can be the same format or the same verbiage and the same wording. You're just sending the messages across a different type of medium, right? One's coming across an email and the other one's coming across SMS, the phone system. But the message can say the same thing, so it's uniform. So, and that gets you away from cold calling, right?
Okay.
And visiting the truck stops, you know. So
okay.
So that can help you.
Okay. Now let me ask you this: as far as the getting a list of people that's just new, that's just coming on. I mean, what do you suggest about that? As far as, you know, do we have a better chance of getting people who are just starting out?
Yes, you do, because they're just starting out. So they're of the mindset that a lot of brokers are not going to give them an opportunity because they're new. They don't have any experience yet. They haven't even gotten their truck yet. So you have a better chance of being a help to them by providing a dispatch service and finding loads for them, especially if you can tell them that you have resources like brokers who work with new authority carriers, right? Owner operators. So yeah, you can leverage that because we do have a list of brokers who work with new MCs. So
yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So you can go to the FMCSA register and look up those. So in that, I don't know if you've been to that register in the FMCSA website through the SAFER website.
Yeah, well, when I'm on with you, I've been going on it.
Right, right.
Going
So
through it with you.
Right. So when we go through there and get to there, remember the date filed, it's not the date that their authority became active, it's the date that they filed to become active. So it's the date, it's that, so that date that you see on that register where it says, matter of fact, I'll show you. So we're on the SAFER site and we put something in here. We get to this screen here and then we'll say licensing and insurance. And then we'll hit the drop down for the register, FMCSA register, right? And we'll click here and we'll get to the reports, the 2-week incremental reports. We'll click that information. Let me enlarge this a little bit for the viewers. And then we'll scroll down to remember the fitness section, right?
Yeah.
So we scroll down to the fitness section. And what's the difference between fitness and non-fitness? So and what is this fitness concept that we're speaking of? Well, SAFER, SAFER, is an acronym that stands for Safety and Fitness Electronic Records, right? So that's where the fitness concept comes in at.
Yeah.
So right here, this is non-fitness. So what's the difference between non-fitness and fitness? Well, non-fitness is a category of carriers who are under this criteria. They're common in contract of household goods. That's not what we're looking for, right? Motor carriers of passengers. That's not what we're looking for, right? Intrastate, anything intrastate we're not looking for, so you can skip that. Household good freight forwarders, we're not looking for that, and household goods property brokers. So none of the criteria that falls into the non-fitness category are the type of owner operators or carriers that we're looking for. So obviously, the only thing that's left is the fitness category, right?
Okay.
So the fitness category is right here, right? So the fitness category, fitness only, are motor, common, and contract carriers of property except household goods. That's the exact criteria of the type of motor carriers that we're looking to dispatch for. They are either common, and most likely they're going to be common carriers as opposed to contract carriers. So the common carriers of property except household goods. Now we can skip over all the others because that's fine. We're not looking for motor, contract, passenger carriers. We're not looking for motor contract passenger carriers, charters, and special education. And we're not looking for brokers. We're looking for the first category under the fitness category. That's why we advise when you're on here, we go down to the fitness section as opposed to the non-fitness section of this register, okay?
Okay.
So now here's how you read this. Here's their number, they're either their FF number or their MC number, and this is in alphabetical order. So F comes before M. Filed date is the date that this company filed to have an active authority, or they applied for an authority, right?
Okay.
So we're gonna scroll. So this is how you read it. Here's their number, the date that they filed, the name of the applicant, right here, and the representative of the applicant, which is the same, probably in some case, the same name. And then under that, their fitness category, which is right here. So that's how you read it, the number,
Okay.
the date. So now when we go down, when we scroll down to the M section, you'll be able to identify that. So we're gonna pass the F's and let's get to our first M right here. So here's our first M. The MC number, MC stands for motor carrier. They filed, this company, Catalog Inc. or Catalog LLC, filed to have an operating authority on the 20th of October this year, right? And the representative of the company is the name of the company itself, okay? And the type of authority that they filed under the fitness category was an interstate common carrier except household goods. That's exactly what you're looking for.
Okay.
Okay. So if you were to look this company up to see as a candidate to call them, then this is the category that you would, look them up under, because they are interstate as opposed to intrastate.
Yeah.
So you know the difference between the two of those, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So the point here with the register and the safer website, you mentioned about new authority. So even if you were to look this company up and it shows them not being authorized, you can still call them and say, hey, we noticed that you applied for an authority, an operating authority on the 20th of October. We see that it's not authorized yet, but once it becomes active, are you looking for a dispatcher? And more than likely, if they say yes, then you continue the conversation like, okay, well, what's your equipment type? How many truck and trailers do you have? Where are you looking to go? What type of cents per mile are you expecting to get? So now you start that profile type of conversation, extracting the data that you need from them in order to dispatch for them. So let's look this one up. I'm not going to look them up by the number. I'm going to look them up by the name, right? So I'm going to look at catalogs. I'm going to go to Safer, another tab in the browser for Safer. And you can look up on the company snapshot of the Safer website by the DOT number, by the MC number, right? By the MC number or by the name. So I copied their name and I'm going to paste it right there. So here's one company that's in, Green Acres, Florida. So we go back to the other one. They're from Green Acres, Florida, right?
Yeah.
That's
in West Palm area.
Right. So conceivably, that's the company. So I'm going to click that. And so this company, they apply. So look at this. This is interesting, right? So I'm going to show you something here. The information in the register said that they applied for a common carrier authority of household goods, a motor carrier, right? But when you look the company up in Safer, they have a broker authority authorized for broker of property. You see that?
Okay.
So their entity type is a broker. So it's good to look them up by name. And there's their MC number. It matches the MC number right here of the one that filed to be a common carrier. So that's weird. So they either changed it, they either changed that from a motor carrier to a common carrier in the process of waiting to become active, right? And here, the date, their MCS date on the 19th. So they've been a broker since the 19th. So they're trying to file for a on the trucking side for a motor carrier authority. So that's a weird one, right? So let's go to another one here to see this one here, the second one. Okay, One Trucking.
So can I ask you a quick question? So that one right there, we wouldn't try to contact.
No, we wouldn't try to contact that one because their entity type, they're a broker. So the entity type has to say carrier. If it says
Yeah.
carrier slash broker or carrier slash IEP, which is intermodal equipment provider, stay away from them. Okay.
Okay.
So this second one here, One Trucking out of Valdosta, Georgia, they are an interstate, but they're an interstate contract carrier. So they can only work with specific contracts, specific direct customers, right? So I'm going to scroll down and look at another one right here. Mamo Express LLC out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, right? They are an interstate common carrier except household goods. So they're the ideal candidate, but let's look them up to make sure that they are. Okay, so let's go back and let's go up here and look up their name, put in their name, and there they are, Lawrenceville, Georgia, right? So you look them up. So now, so here, this is what I meant. Their entity type is carrier, okay? But their operating status, they're not authorized yet.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So they don't have an active authority yet, right? So, but there could be several reasons why. How do we find that out? Okay, then what we do is we go to licensing and insurance right here, where it says other information for this carrier, licensing and insurance. You click that link and you just go through the little checks right here in motorcycles. I get this wrong the first time every time. So hit that search. And then we look at the HTML report, review the data, and we see why possibly their authorities. So they applied for a property, a common, so their status for a common carrier, contract carrier, or broker, there's no status. But under the section that says, let me enlarge this for you. It says application pending. It says yes, they have an application pending for the common carrier authority. So their application for their authority is still pending. That's the reason why it's not authorized right now. It says non-authorized for them.
Okay.
Right there. That's the reason, because their application is still, the FMCSA is still reviewing it. It's still pending. It could be pending for, let's say, insurance. So let's go back to that. Right here, application pending, and they probably haven't filed insurance right here. So under insurance type, BIPD, BIPD is liability. That stands for bodily injury, property damage, okay?
Okay.
It's required to have 750,000. They have none on file right now. So that's probably why their application is still pending, because they're waiting for an insurance company, a commercial insurance company, to file their BMC 91 or 91X for liability with the FMCSA. That's what they're probably waiting on. That's why their authority is not authorized yet, because they're still waiting. But that doesn't say that you can't call them. You can still call them and say, hey, Mamo Express, whoever you're talking to over there. This is Norman at Norman Dispatch Services. I'm calling to, I see that you guys applied for operating authority, a common carrier operating authority. And I also see that it's not authorized yet, because I think your insurance is still waiting to be filed with the commercial insurance company. When that does happen, are you guys looking for a dispatching service to help you find freight? I know you're going to be new. It's going to be kind of a challenge, because some brokers don't like working with new authority carriers. Would you be looking to entertain the possibility of having a dispatcher help you find loads? You know, something to that effect.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Go from there.
Okay. Now, how often is this list? How often is it updated?
It's updated in 2-week increments.
2 weeks. Okay.
Yep, 2-week increments. Yep, that is correct.
Okay.
So hopefully did that help you a little bit there?
Oh, that helped me big time. So the biggest thing you said, getting care, utilize social media, email and text, and then this right here going to the safer.
Right, and we talk about that in class a lot. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm trying to retire my wife off her job.
Good luck.
I'm motivated.
Yes, sir. Good luck. And that's, so I always tell people, like like people want to, you know, kind of quit their jobs, cold turkey and things like that. I say you never want to leave something that's paying the bills until what you find matches or exceeds what you're trying to leave, right?
Oh,
Yeah. So
no, we definitely want to do that.
right. So, all right, brother. I hope that helped.
All right, well, thank you, brother. Hey, I wanted to let you know, man, I'm from Flint, Michigan as well. So we
You're a Flintstone.
I'm a Flintstone, man.
Oh man.
So you know, we laborers, Doc. So I'm working hard.
Okay, man. It's been a long time since I've been over there, man. They still got that Flint water thing going on.
From my understanding, yeah, they're still trying to work things out. So,
oh my goodness, that you think all
praying for the best.
Yeah, and hoping for the worst. So yeah.
yeah. I appreciate everything, and I'll let you know what kind of progress we're making.
Okay, no worries, brother. I see you in the class on Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be on there. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. I'll talk to you then.
Right, thank you.
All right.
God bless.
All right, guys, this is Charles with the Exodus Logistics Learning Centers, which features dispatching one-on-one training for beginners, as well as freight broker one-on-one training for beginners. Today, we had a 30-minute Zoom consultation with Mr. Freeman, and he was having questions about different ways to acquire carriers, different strategies and techniques that's used to acquire carriers. So in addition to the cold calls and to the visiting the truck stops, if you are having difficulty with that, switch your game up a little bit, right? Do the text blast, email blast, social media communications, because social media is becoming pretty big out here and just about everybody's on social media. So use those resources use all the resources to your advantage. That way you increase the likelihood of getting someone to contact you in regards to a carrier exponentially, or by however many number fold, 5-fold, 3-fold that you use the resource: cold call, visiting truck stops, word of mouth, text campaigns, email campaigns, and social media. So we went over some concepts, went through the Safer website, the register, went through LinkedIn, went through Facebook groups, how to connect to the Facebook groups, just several tips and tidbits for Mr. Freeman, and hopefully that helped him. I believe he said it did. And so if you or anyone you know is interested in independent freight dispatching ownership or becoming a freight broker, look us up. The details of our contact information will be in the description of this video after I get it uploaded and things like that. So join our family, enroll in the course. We are dispatcher one-on-one training for beginners, freight broker one-on-one training for beginners, right? Those who know very little, if anything, about the industry, dispatching or freight broker. So you can reach us also at our emails, info@exodusdispatchingandtraining.com, as well as exoduslogisticsllc at yahoo.com. Our business line is area code 757-695-9565. And my cell is area code 757-515-1684. So hopefully I'll look to hear from you guys, and talk to you soon. Have a great day.